it's time to get this van ready for a road trip slash winter. I've got a lot of things to kind of change. I've got some upgrades, some repairs, some adjustments after living in the van for a few months. I know some things that need to kind of move around or change, and also because it's going to be cold where I'm going most likely, especially at night time, so some kind of upgrades are going to be needed to keep warm in here. If you've watched the kind of build videos, you know that I kept everything pretty simple, and I do have an electric system, but I didn't install a heater or anything like that, so that is first up on the list. So let's get cracking. I'm gonna work today on reinstalling my solar panels because I hit a tree, damaged some things, it got kind of... Anyway, let's put them back on. This is the current situation I have with my solar panel. It's bent, these brackets are bent, so I need to kind of take it all off, try and straighten it back up, and this will go back in, but it's wonky, so I just need to readjust everything and hopefully it will go back on the top of the van. Right, so I've taken one end of the solar panel off, and as you can see there's some like wonky bits, it's kind of bent. So I'm gonna attempt to, oh, nearly dropped. So I'm gonna attempt to use some wood and like hammer it back into place. Mainly that bit, that's the one needs straightening out, and see if that works. I really don't want to damage it anymore than it already. Right, hammer didn't seem to be working, but I've got a clamp, so I'm thinking if I got these two bits of wood, you can see the gap. So I'm thinking if I clamp it really tight, it might be better than. But now I have to actually be strong enough to clamp it. Well, I think the clamp's kind of working, but now I think I've just bent the wood. So I need stronger wood. So it looked like before there was some like sealant on the edge or something that was, I guess, gluing this to the actual panel. So I've got some Sikaflex. I'll just put a line of that in and glue it back on, and then wait for that to dry whilst I'm trying to straighten out the brackets, because they're also like, this is supposed to be like 90-degree angles. So try and straighten those out, because I think I got the edging pretty straight. Well, it's not straight, but it's better than it was. And then I'll be able to put it back on the roof hopefully today. But it's already 1:30, so I need to get a move on. I don't know if I've used enough of this, but we'll let it dry and see what it's like. So to start with, I wasn't sure whether to reattach the roof racks back on, because it kind of, where the roof racks are attached to the gutter of the van, it kind of pulled and bent that a little bit, and I wasn't sure whether I could then trust it. But I've had a few reassuring comments on TikTok and things like that saying that the guttering will still be pretty secure. So what I'm going to do is just move all of the brackets back a few inches. Yeah, I'll move the brackets back a few inches so that then it's on a bit that should be secure enough and not bent. But the only problem I have is where the kind of where it hit, there's one main bit that's bent. Let me show you. So I don't know if you could see there, but that bit of the gutter is kind of, I didn't even realise there was something in the bottom of the gutter that's not metal. It's kind of like a thick sealant of some sort, so it's ripped a hole in that. So what I'm going to do is use my trusty friend Sikaflex and put a huge blob in there just to stop any water going underneath and then creating rust on the bare metal. Hopefully that works. I mean, I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it, because it's already, like where it scratched some of the paint off, it's going to probably start rusting in a couple years or so. Yeah, so I'll just have to monitor it and see how it goes really. But it should be secure enough. It's really scary because putting things on the roof, if something was to fly off, it would cause some serious damage, so it's kind of scary to know what's going to work, what isn't going to work, but I think it should be alright. So yeah. Right, I'm on the roof. I'm going to re-put the brackets in place. When I first put all of the solar panel stuff on the roof, I had someone helping me, and we attached everything on the floor and then lifted it up as one whole piece so that we could like get this on exactly in the right place. But I think it'll be alright doing it this way around, so I'm just going to measure, well, I've measured the solar panel, so I'm going to readjust these brackets. So it was originally, you can see here where the metal's bent a bit, that's where it originally was. Thinking if I move it just like 3 inches this way, then that should be enough to make sure it's not on the bent parts anymore. So I think I'll leave that one there and measure backwards, but I do have to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the roof vent. So let me measure and check. Okay, I've got them in place. I'm not going to tighten the brackets up, I'm just going to leave them in place so they're like resting on the gutter. But the other thing I have to go careful of is my wires. Now these are proper, like just Sikaflexed in, because when I was originally installing them I did have a little solar entry box, but then I couldn't figure out how to fit this through the hole. This bit is bigger than the hole, so I just drilled a hole. Well, the guy who was helping me drilled a hole, and then I've just like proper Sikaflexed over the whole thing, so these wires don't move, go longer or anything like that. So this might be a problem depending on how long the wires of the solar panel are, because I know that they're not very long. So let's get the solar panels back up here and I'll see if I can, yeah, if these are still long enough to reattach everything. Always trying to think of ways I can do things myself. I've currently rested the solar panel on top of a wheelie bin so that I can reach it from on the roof. So let's hope I don't fall. Oh my god, I'm surprised that worked. Now I just need to put it down. Which way around do I need it? This way. Okay. Luckily these panels aren't actually very heavy, but they're just awkward. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna get my legs trapped in here if I do this way. This wire needs positive. I've just realised that it might be easier to tighten this first bracket because they're kind of wobbling and it's hard to tell if I need to move them at all. So I'm going to tighten that bracket, and then any adjustments I can do from this one. So I'm going to do that before I get the second one up. This has been how I've been climbing out of the van since I don't have a ladder at all. I just hop on the roof vent, use my muscles and then just clamber around up here. That one felt heavy. Anyway, now I need to move out the way to put it here. This would really be a lot easier with 2 people. Okay, I think the wires reach. I've just got to remember to do it the correct way. So it's positive, I'm doing them in parallel, so it's positive of one panel to the positive of the wire in the van, negative of this panel to this panel, and then the positive. No, what did did I just say? Positive of this one into the van, positive. Negative of this one to this negative. Positive. Okay, there's positive and negative. Positive and negative. This positive goes to the van. This negative goes to this positive. This negative goes to the van. Okay, I got it. Basically, that's basically it. And this just about reaches. Right, I'm going to get some cable ties and try and tidy up the wires under here as far as I can reach. And then I think it'll be done. That is that job done. Now, on to the next task. Right, I've got this little thing here that I close and it stops the drawer from opening. Works really well because I tried to use magnetic latches and nothing was holding the drawer because it's quite heavy. But the screw keeps coming out and then it keeps like just falling back down. So I'm going to try and put, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try and put a wall plug into the wood so that it hopefully holds the screw a bit better. So I'll unscrew it and then try and put that in. I tried to cheat by screwing a screw in instead of drilling a hole, but it doesn't seem to be working, so off to get a drill bit. Oh. That's just bent. How am I supposed to hammer that in when it's just going to bend like that? Rippy. Came with the tiniest little screw, so I guess I'll use a bigger one and see if that helps. Still fits through that. Oh. Why does the screw not seem to... Why do they make all screw heads different shapes and sizes? Like, I've got to find a different drill bit for every bloody job that I do. Oh, that won't move. Oh, okay. I'll leave it pretty tight, hopefully. That holds a bit better. That's that job done. That was a lot quicker than the other job. In the start of the video I mentioned about getting heating in the van, and that is because yesterday I got a diesel heater installed. As you can see, I've got it here. I thought in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the van, sorry, would be the best place for it. So I've got the vent coming out here and all the little controls there. And I didn't do it myself, and I didn't really want to do it myself. So I got someone to install it for me, and I found a really good company, and the guy who did it was really lovely, and he just cracked on with it and got it done in like less than 2 hours, which is insane. Would have probably taken me like 2 whole days at least. So yeah, it's the line goes straight into the diesel tank, which is really handy, and I've got it wired at the minute. I've got it wired to the van battery because I have 2 batteries in the front of the van, so I thought that it probably would be fine to have it wired up to there, because the guy who installed it wasn't sure about using it with power stations, and he did say after seeing my power station and how big it is that it probably would be powerful enough to power the diesel heater. So I probably, after a while, I'm going to see how it goes with using the van battery, but after a while I'm probably going to get a wire to hook it straight into the Bluetti, which is in there, because that should be big enough, but I just need to make the right wire for it. At least that way with the Bluetti you can monitor a bit more, like you can see by percentage how it's going down, whereas with the van battery I can't really tell. I mean, I've got a voltage reading on here, so it should be fine, and I'm also going to get a wire that I can charge the starter battery from the Bluetti, just in case I do use too much power and it kind of goes dead and I need to drive. So at least I've got that as a backup, or just a way to kind of keep it topped up overnight, whilst if I need to run the diesel heater all night, for example. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on that, see how it goes, and I just thought I'd let you know that I now have one installed, because I think winter without one is probably going to be pretty hard. So yeah, that's not really something that I had to do, but I had to get someone to do it, and now it's done. So I've got a few other bits to kind of fix, but I've run out of time today, so now the main kind of things I need to do is the paperwork and like getting ready to go to Europe. So I need to make sure, I need a sticker because the van doesn't have a sticker yet. I need to check, I'm pretty sure my insurance and breakdown cover is for Europe as well, but I'm going to double check everything, make sure I've got all the documents printed. And I need to get the European kit, which is like the triangle and the high-vis jacket and some extra bulbs. I've got 4 days until I leave, so I should be fine getting all that done, but I just thought I'd update you and let you know some of the things I'm doing and fixing in order to head to Europe, because I'm really excited. Heading to Switzerland, Italy, Slovenia, basically all the places I didn't manage to go last time I did a little European trip. And I'm hoping October is a good month for it because it's going to be autumn, hopefully the leaves start going orange and it should be really good. I'm just hoping for some nice clear weather and it's not kind of rainy and stormy, but hopefully out of a month and a half we should have some clear days, so really looking forward to that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed and stick around because I'm leaving very soon, so you're coming too.